One of my clients, British Airways, a little change in meeting this need brought a huge dividend. For a long time, they were not a great airlines. Then they told their ticket agents, keep all things the same except add one detail in your service. Use the customer's name. When you get back the ticket, use their name. It might be, have a great trip, Mr. Johnson. Hope you enjoy British Airways, Miss Wilson. In the 30 days they tried that, their customer satisfaction scores rose a phenomenal 60%. And I really believe that all of your customers, all of your teammates, even your family members, carry invisible signs around their necks. The sign says, make me feel important. Most effective people do exactly that. This one time I was flying to Baltimore. I looked for the lowest available airfare. The cheapest I could find, Coach Super Saver, $1,200. Very expensive. Had to see my client. I buy the ticket. I go to check in. I fly so much they give you special check-in privileges, diamond, platinum flyers. I told the clerk, expecting nothing to happen, that the ticket sure is expensive today. She said, if you don't like the price, take the bus. I thought, whoa. She knew nothing about this third need of making folks feel understood. It would have taken 5 seconds to say, yep, they're pretty high sometimes, aren't they? I would have felt understood, respected, no problem. Didn't know how to do that. Another class had a lady maybe 250 pounds. I thought to myself, hey lady, go on a diet, exercise, take care of yourself. I'm not proud to admit to you that I was that shallow, that judgmental years ago. But that's where my head was. One night she said to the group, her first comment, she said, I feel so good about myself. Last year I weighed 348 pounds, I'm down to 241 right now. And there went the judgment. I suddenly realized that I seldom have enough data to play God and judge somebody else. What I've learned is I get a little bit older, a little bit wiser. So as many of my snap judgments, first impressions, stereotypes have been wrong. I take time to really understand somebody else. Typically I have more respect and less judgment. Difficulty is we're all busy folks. A snap judgment can be made in a snap. It takes a few seconds. It takes time and skill to really understand somebody else, show interest in them. But this is the magical part. I've learned that when I show interest in folks, I always get more from folks. Check your arms. Resist all your strength. You ready? Mm-hmm. And resist. Okay, good, good. Don't think we've ever met before.
No.
Want to get a bit more acquainted. I'm curious, Joan, where you were born.
Minneapolis.
Over here, okay, this is hometown, Minneapolis, mm-hmm. Great. And put your arms back up, resist all your strength. Minneapolis, ready? And resist. Oh. You might consider leaving Minneapolis.
Maybe.
And where do you work?
Thomson Reuters.
Thomson Reuters, okay, good. How long?
8 years.
8 years, let's try that. Thomson Reuters, 8 years, ready? Resist all your strength. Yeah, good. You said born in Minneapolis, a local hospital here?
Yep.
Which one?
Swedish.
Swedish, great. Swedish hospital, Minneapolis. Put your arms up, resist all your strength, born in Minneapolis, and resist.
What are you doing here?
If you're wondering what's happening, nothing wrong with Minneapolis. The reason your arms went down, whenever I asked you where you were born, mm-hmm. I had them just thinking in their heads out here, pretending that Joan is a jerk.
Hey.
They made the arms come down. When I asked you about your job, they're thinking that Joan is great. Think she's a good person, good sport? You think so? Put your arms up one more time and try it. Ready? Resist. Yeah, great. Thank you. Brings it right back up again. You can go back. Thank you. And we can work with people if we don't like them or agree with them. If we know they mean what they say, they follow through, keep their promises. You tell a colleague, I'll get back to you. Just made a promise. Whether right or wrong, employees do keep score. To go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I got busy, I forgot, doesn't show respect. If you write down every promise you make on a piece of paper, your Google Calendar, you write them down, you cross them off, you do that. Got kids like that? Never forget. Remember when I was in second grade, we'd line up on the playground every day to buy a milk ticket. It cost us 2 cents back then. One kid in the playground, Mike Fensky, forgot his milk money. I loaned him 2 cents. He has never paid me back.
It's true. Never forget the promises.
Dr. William James, he's known today as the father of American psychology. Spent his whole lifetime researching at Harvard what brings about great relationships on and off the job. Wrote this big book of research. End of his life, he was dying. A friend sent him an azalea plant. In his weakened condition, wrote a note of thanks back for the plant. As he wrote the note, it suddenly dawned on him that the deepest craving in human nature was a craving to feel appreciated. So that is seldom, if ever, totally satisfied. Nobody gets too much praise, too much appreciation. So if you go out there and do that with your folks, your customers, you will have power. Not power over them, but power with them. In very simple terms, there are not many folks who walk this earth who have as their mission in life to make you feel good. If you do that for your customers, you stand up from the crowd. You have power to build partnership, to build relationship.
But there's one airline that's made money every year, 30 years in a row, good times, bad times, always makes money. Who is it? They may not have better planes, better food, but they've got one thing that's part of their brand, making sure that flying's a little bit more fun. Anybody flown Southwest? A little bit different? I get in a Southwest plane one time. Flight attendant making safety announcements. Most don't listen to safety announcements. She says this: there may be 50 ways to leave your lover. Only 2 ways to leave this plane. If you are smart, take out the safety card and follow carefully, all reading the safety cards. We laugh, but we create rapport, we connect, putting some playfulness in there. For example, I eat a lot of meals on the road. I look forward to a nice meal in the evening. I stopped at this one restaurant. I asked the waiter what he recommended. He gave me the name of 2 other restaurants. I went, whoa, when he said, gotcha. I'll give you good service, you'll be happy. And of course, I liked him more, you got a bigger tip. Putting fun in the workplace.
Speakers, talkers, repeat after me. Tell them, I'm glad you're here. I believe in you. You're a winner. You're the best. You're a champ. You're cool. You're excellent. You're great. You can do it. You're a winner. You're the best. You can do it. You're the best. Check their arms again, please. Yeah, good. Good. Great. You can sit back down. The lesson is very simple, but extremely important. If you're working with people who are whining, griping, complaining, come across those folks in your marketplace, at home, wherever. Maybe you're married to them, I don't know. But if you found people who are whining, complaining, what I'm trying to say as strongly as I can, do not let their garbage become your destiny. So in 3 days, lost those 3 most important relationships of mother, wife, daughter. My dad and I put together a funeral. My colleagues at the university sent some flowers. That was nice. The strange thing was, I went back to teaching a few days after the funeral, and nobody asked me anything. They were good teammates. But I'm sure the feeling was, what do you say? Not knowing what to say, they all pretended nothing had happened. Comments like, well, have a good day, see you around, take care, hope your class goes well. Don't be daring to ask any deeper questions or listen for a bit. After 6 months, I was walking across campus one day. Professor came by a different department. He said, just a minute, Alan. I know you've been through some big changes in your life the last few months. Hope I don't sound too nosy, too personal, but I do care. Just wondering, how are you really doing? I said, mind. It felt great to have somebody ask, how are you? And really mean the question. Not say fine and walk on. From that experience, began to realize that lots of times we don't know what to ask our coworkers to build stronger relationships. Not knowing what to ask, we talk about the weather or how the Packers might do this year. Questions that really make a big zero difference in a lifetime. This midwife came over to help her with the birth. Midwife just hugged her and said, you're so wonderful. To not me, 16, single, pregnant, whole life is messed up, nothing good about me. Midwife said, I don't see it that way. You could have left town, tried to abort, cover your tracks. Nobody would have known. But you chose to do what you thought was right. And for that, I respect you. My reaction was, whoa. I thought that was the first easy question I asked my grandma. I found you ask people those brave questions and just listen to their response. They feel so special that you care that much to know them that well. They want to keep building a relationship with you.